Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Little King's Story playthrough. So, in a small room of a rundown castle, we sit on our throne, and the newly drawn world map is still small, but we just need to dominate all of the UMA on the other side of the river, and then we will have dominated the world! So, our first port of call is to go into the kingdom plan. We are definitely going to be purchasing that guard badge ×3, because it means that we're going to be able to have more members of our royal guard, and then we definitely want to be purchasing the carpenter's hut, because we want to be training some carpenters, because we need them to really make any sort of progress. And god damn it, that's the thing I want. So, when I started playing through Little King's Story again, my brain automatically remembered the podium. And that's why there was a moment in one of the past few parts where I was just running around where it's going to be. And I was just like, why isn't this working? I want to look at my citizen list. It's because I haven't bought the thingy yet that allows me to do that. But, don't worry, we will certainly be getting that podium in the very near future. But, first off, the job is we need to go train that those carpenters, because we want to do a little bit of building today, and also obviously we want to make sure that we build a whole bunch of stuff. But also, if we run over here, we have this fella. Little bit strange for a game sort of aimed at kids/teenagers. Lots of stuff to do with God. So this is Campbell of the sect of Soup. Obviously a bit of a nut job. And he wants a church. And God will punish us if we don't. So, I think we kind of have to agree to this request. Also, I love that, he's this part of the sect of Soup. And his, replacement of Amen is Ramen. Just perfect. So, when you get to these types of jobs, so you can train up farmers and guards completely for free. But every job past that starts to cost money. So the carpenters cost 50,000 bol each, and then they're just going to get higher and higher and higher. There will come a time when there are jobs which will most definitely require 1,000 bol each. So it's going to get expensive. But there's not a lot we can do on that front, we've just got to deal with it. But at least now we have 2 carpenters, so whenever you see a sign that has a hammer on it, you know, send in your carpenters and they will build away. They're not exactly the fastest fellas in the world, but they are most definitely necessary to progress throughout the game. I mean, if there's one thing that I think is very, very good, is that each and every job type that becomes available to you throughout the game has a use somewhere. So, it doesn't matter what you do, you are going to need to make sure to try and get every single job that's in the game available to you. Now what's quite nifty also is that, so as you can see, each citizen has a different amount of health. So there's a bit of strategy involved in how you deal with using your citizens. So anybody that has more health, naturally, when they are just a careless adult, they will generally do better as a soldier, because obviously soldiers are the ones that you're going to be sending into battle. And so you want them to be a lot sturdier than your other citizens, really. So if you can get those that have higher health already, and try and train them to be soldiers, then you're in a better job, and then you can give the citizens that have less health, you can give them the wonderful job of just being the carpenters and the farmers and all the stuff that doesn't require combat. Also, just a quick notice, whenever you have a hole, I don't know why I didn't mention this the other day, but you can't send soldiers into these holes because they won't actually be able to dig. They will instead fall in the hole and lose a bit of health. So don't do that. I'm probably going to make the mistake a few times throughout the course of the game, because it's a little bit too easy to accidentally fling everything into a hole and then realise, oh, my poor soldiers. Oops. Now, I think I very nearly missed this hole, but then I was just like, oh, the mini-map is telling me there is a hole here. I need to dig. So, yeah, we are just raising money at present to try and, one, get the church, because obviously otherwise Campbell will freak the hell out at us and call on God to make us suffer tremendously. But we also want that podium, because that is going to be an absolute godsend, pun intended, to organising our Royal Guard as it gradually gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Because if you thought we were only going to be ever dealing with 8 people, it's just not happening. There is no way that you're actually going to be able to make any progress whatsoever, because you're going to end up in situations where you need a whole variety of citizens. So you're going to need just loads and loads of jobs. So I look forward to the day whenever we get more, because seriously, the more people you have in your Royal Guard, the better. Because it means you can have the greater variety of citizens, and that will ultimately lead to a much better situation for you. And, oh, thank God, we've got the podium! So what the podium allows you to do is, just in front of the castle there is a podium, you stand on the glowing crown, and you can then call any citizens you like. So you can just call farmers, you can just call knights, you can just call carpenters, you can just call your careless citizens, or you can specifically call your Royal Guard. And if you want to be very specific in choosing your Royal Guard, then you just go into the citizen list and you specifically just tag them. Also, because we've now gotten enough citizens, a new edict becomes available. This is something that, in recording the playthrough, I hadn't quite remembered how it all worked. But essentially that is the way it works. As you pick up more people, you are able to get more of the edicts. So even though the extra houses aren't necessarily important, you are still going to want to make use of them. Because, I mean, seriously, you want those edicts because they give you extra life. And at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want to make your citizens as sturdy as possible. And also, you want all of the things that they will provide you. Because there's something that will turn up eventually, which is an alarm clock, which allows you to set the time for when you wake up. And there's all sorts. Now, obviously we don't have the citizen list available to us just yet, so that's a little bit frustrating. As it means that, you know, we can't really be too specific on who we pick up. Though I believe if we were to step on the podium now and call forth the Royal Guard, they would all come. But either way, I'm just doing this the old-fashioned way for the time being, if only because it's a little bit simpler until that citizen list becomes available, and I'm pretty sure that becomes available once you've hit a certain number of citizens. Once it's past the threshold of being useful, well, once it's past the threshold of being able to provide you anything, then it gives you stuff. If that makes any sense at all, which it probably doesn't, but oh well. Now, you can see the little Onis on the other side of the bridge. Right now, we aren't going to deal with them, because really I just want to be trying to expand my kingdom a little bit further. And we had that quest in the suggestion box about some sort of giant frog. And that was in the Upchuck Forest, which is just over this way, actually. So that's what we're going to be doing as soon as we break through this log. Oh dear. This is one of those games where my mind is just going to collapse. Oh my god, that is adorable. That carpenter is just having a smoke on a little rug that he's put out. Oh my god, I've never noticed that before. That has just made my day. And here is that giant frog that was referred to in the quest. And it is another Guardian UMA. And this is Yvonne. That's what she's called. You're damn straight. Now, Yvonne is difficult. She really, really is. Because she can poison your citizens, she can instantly kill them by eating them, which is obviously very, very, very dangerous. And then when she does this jumping move, she sends out a shockwave and just... oh, it's so cruel. The main thing that you want to be doing is doing a hit-and-run tactic and just trying to attack whenever you can and just hoping for the best, really. And whatever you do, try not to stand in front of her, because if you do, then she will send in those, well, that massive tongue of hers and eat your citizens, which obviously is not good. Thankfully, I don't think the poison can kill your soldiers, but it certainly does mean that they are majorly at risk. Now, if you end up in a situation like I am, where you are very, very, very in trouble, I believe, or at least I hope, that there is a little fountain nearby, or at least a little hole that you can send in your farmer and then you can dig out a spring. because at present we desperately need one of those. Because I'm pretty sure all of our soldiers are at like 1 health left. And that is not good considering how much health Yvonne still has left. She just doesn't really want to play ball with me. Which is just like, no! Yvonne, stop it! Just let me kill you, please. And there we go. Lyrica has kicked the bucket. I'm sorry, Doc. This is the really frustrating thing with Yvonne. Just that instant kill attack. Thankfully, it's very unlikely that Yvonne will, I think, eat the king, because as long as you keep moving, you're absolutely fine, but obviously there is the slight issue of if you aren't circling properly, then you're in trouble. Now, thankfully, obviously what we are seeing is that as long as your soldiers are clung on to Yvonne, then if they get flung off, then that won't kill them. If, however, they are under her when she lands, then she's definitely going to kill your soldiers. Also, thank you, game, for telling me that I'm dying way too much, and it's too bad that Caden passed away. Told you this game was a little bit morbid and a little bit grim. And something that you can't see from this distance, but as your little king loses health, he actually visibly ages. Which is a really cool little effect. So when you've lost 1 health, I'm pretty sure he grows a beard, so he looks like an adult. And then when you're down to 1 health, he goes all grey and everything. So he turns into an old man, and death is obviously nearly inevitable, but hopefully we won't reach that point. Hopefully Yvonne will be dead before she can do any more damage. And there we go, thank God. Victory! Haha! So that wasn't with such ease, Hauser. That was actually a pretty fraught battle. We very nearly lost all of our citizens, and we very nearly died ourselves. So it wasn't great, but it's fine. Because we still made an overall profit on the day. So that's good. And obviously we've got a new area that we can build in. And this is going to be very helpful because it's going to allow us to get a new type of citizen. Or at least a new job for our citizens. In the Grassland Town, we can get the Hunter Hut, and we can get Hunters, which we definitely want to be doing because they have arrows and they can fire from a distance, which, tell you now, absolute godsend, and also actually necessary for getting down to where the Onis are, because you're going to struggle without them. But there we go, I think that's it for today. Let's save up, and then we can continue onwards, causing havoc and dominating the world. Let's do this.